Hey, welcome back, guys. Snowfall just solidified itself as a bona fide crime epic, following in the footsteps of its many classic predecessors with the slew of massacres we witnessed in 409. Sleeping Dogs had undoubtedly the most deaths we've ever seen in a single episode, and the most major deaths in one season, delivering on its violent promise to turn things up a notch going into this cycle. I'm here to break it all down in typical top 10 WTF fashion. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification to immediately receive these videos. Also, big thank you to all of my channel donors. If you'd like to be the next one, drop $1 on that Cash App for us. Lastly, a spoiler alert is now in effect for all things Snowfall. Here we go. WTF moment number 10. Explain yourself. The episode picks up right where Betrayal left off, with Franklin confronting Tanase about her transgressions against him. She explained that Manboy approached her and offered her $100K to seduce Franklin and find his plug. However, she also conveyed that she attempted to renege on their deal, only to result in her brothers jumping in prison at Manboy's request. The heated exchange was only circumvented by an emergency page regarding Jerome. WTF moment number 9. Taken in blood. Franklin arrived at the hospital to meet a shattered Jerome, hell-bent on getting immediate payback for Louis' shooting. Sane attempted to talk some sense into his unk, but to no avail. As a last-ditch effort to save his father figure's life, Franklin opted to throw hands with Jerome, expectantly losing in the most drastic of fashions, as Rome savagely beat his nephew. Then, at the climax of the confrontation, a bloody Franklin looked at his uncle and stated, "When your sister and your wife asked me what I did to stop you, I'ma tell them I did everything I could." The beautifully written line halted Jerome dead in his rampage-filled tracks and inevitably saved him from bringing more turmoil onto his family. WTF moment number 8. The setup. Franklin brought the whole crew to Tanase's grill and forced her to contact Manboy. During the fall exchange, Tanase falsely informed Manboy that Franklin agreed to take him to the plug. Wisely skeptical of the sudden change, Manboy inquired further, leading Tanase to concoct a feasible rationale to placate her treacherous ally. Then, she set up a place for them to meet, all while Franklin in tow observed her intensely for any lapses. WTF moment number 7. Revolution Radio. Irene and Alton appeared on a radio show to further expose the CIA and their secret drug war. During the interview, Irene revealed that her subsequent articles were shut down, and she was downsized due to her initial expose. She then sealed her unfortunate fate by threatening to uncover Reed's real name unless the CIA conducted an internal investigation. This fanning of flames by the beleaguered ex-journalist got her just the fire she was looking for, as we'll soon see. WTF moment number 6. Manboy's last stand. Manboy surprisingly pulled up on Tanase, smelling major bullshit residue from her previous story. He immediately went on the defensive, attacking T physically and being stabbed by her as a result. Then, Saint's presence was revealed, shooting his open enemy and having his men outside discarded of as well, courtesy of Jerome's semi-automatic. At the crossroads between life and certain death, Manboy went on an insult-laden monologue, getting that last bit of disrespect off before taking a final bullet to the throat, Franklin silencing his treacherous foe eternally. WTF moment number 5. For the love of money. Franklin paid a visit to our beloved Aunt Louie, who suggested that he access Khadija by infiltrating her mercenary-bound muscle, Black Diamond and Dallas. Saint did just that, and implemented Wanda to foster an impromptu meeting between the two parties. After a brief standoff, Franklin made his intentions clear for the deadly duo, stability. Franklin offered not only to increase their bounty fee, but to hire them all together and keep the two on payroll as his personal hitters. Assessing their current options, with some assistance from a still furious Jerome, the two agreed to join forces. WTF moment number 4. A drink with a shot of confession. Reed popped up on Irene at her typical libation-filled sanctuary. Though initially startled, she allowed him the opportunity to say his piece. Reed feigned remorse for his role in the drug trade and positioned himself against the CIA to the ever-ambitious former reporter, requesting that Irene record his testimony and story. However, prior to his confessional, he urged that a drink would be a necessary prerequisite. Though wary of Reed's intentions, Irene lowered her defenses, took the drink, and began recording what figured to be the next landmark in her literary career. A landmark that would go unrealized. WTF moment number 3, it's just business. Khadijah was contacted by Dallas and Black Diamond and accompanied them to finally neutralize Leon. Once in Lee's presence, she realized that the setup was on, courtesy of guns drawn on her person. She pleaded with her now former assassins, promising to substantially compound their pay. However, once Franklin appeared and confirmed her efforts were futile, her fate was sealed. Khadijah then made one last-ditch effort for mercy via Leon. Lee finally landed a semblance of closure by apologizing to the scorned mother of a deceased child. Fervently defiant in her final moments, Khadijah rebuffed Leon's contrition and vowed to hunt him until the end. Having heard enough, Jerome extinguished the fiery soul mid-sentence. Much to Leon's surprise, Franklin then retrieved his oldest friend from the depths of guilt in the form of her lifeless body. WTF moment number 2, Irene's last ride. Reed walked Irene out to her car after their offhand exchange. Stumbling, assumed to be from the drinks, Irene told him off one last time before departing. Once in the car, she was visibly affected by the intoxicant, pulling her window down for air and focus. However, she succumbed to the poisonous effects and fell asleep at the wheel. She was then chillingly awakened by Reed, who silenced her for good and captured her tape recorder for good measure. This ensured that all of her evidence against the CIA and his own would remain in the operative's sole control. And WTF moment number 1, with regards to your father. Irene's death barraged the news in the scenes to follow, each station reporting it as a drunk driving affliction as opposed to what we knew it to be authentically, murder. Then, Reed visited Franklin and his mom at the hospital. Away from the matriarch, Franklin inquired whether or not Irene's demise was accidental, to which Reed was non-committal. He then expressed his real reason for the appearance, the question of what to do with Franklin's father, the misguided but well-meaning Alton, who remains the only link between CIA exposure and concealment. Some lingering thoughts before we end today's video. The title of Snowfall's penultimate episode was Sleeping Dogs, derived from the old adage, it's best to let sleeping dogs lie, i.e., leaving well enough alone evades the risk of making more trouble via provocation. And we saw plenty of transgressions to this universal truth throughout the episode. Manboy's rampant pursuit of Franklin's plug and more power ultimately cost him his life, something I questioned prior to in this video. Khadijah's relentless pursuit of Leon ended in the same unfortunate result, despite Scully's overtures for her to let it go. And most notably, Irene's continuous agitation for the truth to be revealed resulted in her early exit, and perhaps in the worst way. She, like her real-life inspiration, will always be remembered as someone who lost that protracted battle with her demons as opposed to a truth seeker fighting to expose the devil himself, or should I say, devils. Jerome's beatdown of Franklin surprised many, including yours truly, but looking back on it, it was a necessary sacrifice by his nephew. Jerome harbored much resentment for Louis and Saint for deceiving him in the CIA matter for almost a year, and that anger was gradually beginning to spill over by the week. By Franklin accepting that ass-whooping, he was accepting his role in deceiving Unc and apologizing by submission simultaneously. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, though, and in the game, you gotta learn to live with every decision, even the regrettable ones. It was as honorable a display as it was tragic. I mean, Jerome with his bare hands would have easily dismantled Franklin, but did y'all see the baguettes he was hitting him with? Those diamond-encrusted stones had to make those punches 10 times worse. Just one of the many reasons why Saint forever a G. While we're on the subject of Big Unc, do you think he'll make it out alive by series end? His exchange with Sissy was heartfelt, revealing, but most of all, cautionary. Amid her many observations and acceptances, she lamented to her baby brother that, "I just hope you can make it out before it's too late." This desire for good fortune could also be perceived as a subtle insinuation that Jerome's future is possibly bleaker than we could ever fathom. It's this commentator's hope that that's not the case. I kept wondering to myself, why would Irene take a drink from someone who had previously threatened her life? However, Upon re-examination, you'll notice that Irene Abe was an ardent drinker throughout her short time on the series, even pouring alcohol into her coffee prior to her depth-sealing radio interview with Alton. That penchant for poisonous spirits led to the alleviation of her own, courtesy of Teddy the Executioner. We'll see if Alton's luck runs deeper than his accomplice. And finally, Scully would be, as it would seem, out for revenge come next week's episode. However, I don't think he'll take it. I think Scully has witnessed enough death and destruction in his life for him to finally have come to that realization that for him to make it out, he's gonna have to take a different route. Maybe that's just wishful thinking, but I think he was on the edge of a conversion that he was trying to get Khadijah to join him on, albeit too late. I don't think he takes the easy way out and goes straight for physical revenge, but moreover, goes for spiritual redemption. And that'll do it for this episode. What did you think of Sleeping Dogs? Be sure to drop me your thoughts in the comments below. As always, I thank you for watching today's video. If you like today's video, go ahead and drop $1 on that Cash App for us, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are fans of Snowfall, and subscribe for more content such as this. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.